Alright, yes, we can bring the sulfuric acid in over here. Run it down under there. And then bring it up into the thingy. Okay, Digby, if you're going to have a ponder, how about you have a ponder somewhere that isn't radioactive?
Performing the duties of his office.
Digby C. Caesar.
No.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I am Digby and today we are back in Satisfactory. Now, in the last episode, I mentioned that I had been working on a platform up there in an effort to get ready to start making nuclear power. And as you can see, I've now got a whole bunch of different trains and things running up to it, and I think mind you, I think we are actually ready to get going. Now, we did do nuclear power in the first season. It did not go well, would be one really nice way to put it. Because, yeah, I didn't actually know anything about it. I technically still don't. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know really what I was doing, and I had things set up in well, basically the worst possible way you could set them up. I mean, I had belts covered in radioactive crap running for miles. I ended up getting completely and utterly overwhelmed with, well, basically like nuclear waste and plutonium rods and a bunch of other crap that I didn't know how to dispose of and I didn't know what to do with. And yeah, it was a bit of a fiasco. So, the big hope for this series, and in fact this episode, is that we're going to be able to do this correctly, we're going to be able to do this efficiently, and we're going to be able to do this in a way that, well, hopefully doesn't end up with us getting completely and utterly irradiated every single time we get anywhere near it. I can't help but think that a clever person would have actually done a bit of a flow chart, so I would have known exactly what I needed and where I needed it. But anyway, as you can see, we are basically coming at this from three sides. So I have got, I think, everything up here that we need to do nuclear power. Now, I didn't actually do this on, like, with any kind of hierarchy of need or whatever. I pretty much just went with the winging it option. So we probably have too much of some stuff and not enough of some other stuff, but I mean, we do have at least enough to be getting on with, I think. Well, I suppose we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, really quick, let me show you what we've got. So down here on the east side, as you can see, I've got like a double station set up down there. Because yeah, we are bringing oil in from way down there. And then we are bringing in hydrogen from, well, way out there. And it's all basically getting chucked into that one station, and then it's being brought up here. I think there's something else involved in it as well. But anyway, yeah, we've got nitro... Oh, no, it isn't. It's just basically nitro... Oh, hold on. Yes, it is. I was going to say, we've got oil down there, which is going to be turned into containers so that we can do the disposal of all the other fluids. Right over there, in fact. And then we've got nitrogen gas in here, so we can make nitric acid, because I'm reasonably certain that's going to be a thing. And then the third container is, oh yeah, it's silica. Okay, so we've got oil to make into plastic, we've got nitrogen, we've got silica. This train here is the one from the south, and you guys will have seen that in the background a few minutes ago. Because that one is doing, well, pretty much nothing but running water up from that little pond down there. Because if there is one thing we are going to need, it's water. Oh, and if you're wondering why I actually put the platform up here, that's why. Because this platform had a uranium deposit on top of it. Oh, not the platform, plateau, sorry. But anyway, yeah, there was like a uranium deposit right here. And I had a thought that if I put the uranium deposit on top of this little plateau, which is not terribly big, thank you, autosave. Yeah, as you can see, this is actually a really, really small area. Which is perfect, because it leaves us all of this extra airspace to run the uranium into and out of without, like, irradiating us every time we get anywhere near it. Because, yeah, the plan is basically this time... Hello, radiation. Anyway, yeah, the plan is this time, whenever we have to move something nuclear from point A to point B, like the nuclear waste or the fuel rods or any of the other crap that's gonna basically poison the atmosphere, we're going to run it as far down as possible, and then we're going to bring it straight back up, so that it is essentially only contaminating like a 3x3 square. That's the plan anyway. I mean, I genuinely don't know if it's going to work or not, but in theory and on paper, it actually looks pretty good. Okay, so over here on the west end, basically we've got Caterium coming up here, and I do mean quite a lot of Caterium coming up here, and that's getting turned into quick wire. And then I've also got a train bringing up, I want to say it's, yeah, it's like copper ingots, steel ingots, cement's in here somewhere, I think. Where's my cement? Well, anyway, it's right there. So yeah, we've got copper, steel, iron, and cement all being brought up here. And that's being turned into basically pretty much everything we need to make AI limiters, I think. Although it doesn't look like it's moving all that efficiently. Okay, so it's pipes that are coming up a little bit short. But yeah, we're making stators, those are getting fed into that thing's making AI limiters, or maybe it's stators and AI limiters that are getting made into something else. I can't really remember. Alright, well we got stators there, we've got encased industrial beams here. This one... Okay, this is the one making electromagnetic control rods. And the stator thing is a problem that we're going to have to fix here in a second. Now, is that it? Is it just electromagnetic control rods and reinforced concrete that's going over there to the other thingy? That one there is making the nuclear fuel rods, I think. Or that one is. But anyway, yeah, we'll go look at that here in a second. First things first, though. We need to start making a lot more stators and a lot quicker. Aha! I think I have found the bottleneck. Alright, we're gonna jack that up. Now, are you the only one making steel pipe, or is there another one? I think that one's making the encased industrial beams. This one now is making these a little bit faster, so hopefully these stators, which are already fully cranked up, are going to be able to keep up. Okay, up to 12, down to 9. Come on, baby, up to 13, up to 13. Down to 10. Okay, we are now making stators about as quickly as is possible. Which means this thing is hopefully no longer having that big of a cow. Okay, that looks good now because it's going from 6 to 3 and then it's getting back up to 6 before this is done. Now that's not like remotely perfectly balanced, but it will definitely do for now. Oh, and if you're wondering, we are actually sending magnetic control rods up to the internet, because I'm pretty sure I need them for something else that I can handcraft. But anyway, that's essentially this end of production. Okay, now I'm also pretty sure I've got sulfur coming up in here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, the sulfur's getting mixed with the water. That's being turned into sulfuric acid, which is then being used in the creation of something terrible, as you can tell from the radiation level. Okay, this is the one that's making the encased uranium cells, which are then only being transported 2 blocks to become, I want to say nuclear fuel rods, yes? Okay, yeah, it's making uranium fuel rods. Now let's get away from the nuclear stuff, please. Yeah, as you will have noticed, we've actually got the radiation zone pretty well contained to this one little area. And that, boys and girls, is the goal for this entire episode. We want to keep that radioactive crap as limited as possible. Okay, I love that I can stand on a power pole right here and not get completely irradiated by the thing making nuclear fuel rods right there. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I think pretty much what I want to do is I want to expand... Thank you, autosave. Anyway, yeah, I think I want to expand out that way. And I want to kind of keep everything sort of in a straight line as much as possible. I mean, I do have a ton of space over there, but that's probably where we're going to end up having to run all the non-nuclear crap, like water and everything else. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this platform out that way. I don't know how much yet. Ooh, actually, that's the thing we can find out fairly quickly, because the next thing we're going to need to build is a nuclear power plant. So how much space is this going to take up? Okay, that is going to take up pretty much everything we've got left. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like a 6x6 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, it's gonna be 6x5. Oh, I didn't actually realize that the water thing is gonna have to come in the top. Okay. I mean, there's ways around it. I can just hook up pumps if I have to, I suppose, but... Well, here's a thought. Let's take a quick look and see what it's going to be doing. Thank you for taking forever to assemble. Anyway, yeah, we know fuel rods are going in there, and water is going to have to go in there, I think. Yeah, it was water. And then that's going to be making nuclear waste, but the nuclear waste is going to be coming out of the back. Which is actually a lot more convenient than I thought, thinking of it. Is there nothing that comes out the front? There is not. Okay, so the nuclear waste is then going to be turned into plutonium fuel rods, and I'm pretty sure that one's going to either be the blender or the manufacturer. Let's take a quick look at the blender. Okay, we need... Oh, it's going to end up being non-fissile uranium I need to make, isn't it? Okay, non-fissile... Yeah, okay, so that's going to use up the nuclear waste. And that's also where the nitric acid is going to come into play. And sulfuric acid, which we do have, so I'm not all that upset about that. And then once we get that stuff being made, I think the next step is plutonium fuel rods, maybe? Okay, plutonium fuel rods. No, I need to know the things that go into that, thank you. Select the recipe. Okay, yeah, plutonium fuel rods need encased plutonium cells, which we need to make plutonium pellets. Okay, here's a thought. Let's open that in the codex. Let's take a look at the plutonium pellets, because apparently that is the next step. Aha, there's my non-fissile uranium, there's my nuclear waste. Oh, okay, so this is made in the particle accelerator. Okay, so what do I need to make a particle accelerator? Or 2 or 3, he asks. We got pretty much everything we need, apart from the motory things. Not motory things, cooling system things. And supercomputers. And I'm pretty sure if I don't have those, I can actually craft them. The input side's going to be that side, so we're going to need basically... I'm thinking the nuclear reactor and the blender kind of next to each other, and then the particle accelerator after that, and then another nuclear power plant right after that. Now I am also going to have to get the supercomputers and the cooling systems. Alright, well let me run back down to the bottom. Let me see what we've got down there. I'll do the platform extension off camera, so you guys don't have to watch me do that for the next 15-20 minutes. And then yeah, we'll start setting all this up. So, we need a nuclear power plant, first and foremost. And that's going to have... Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's going to have the pipe come in as well. So note to self, you want to give yourself a little bit of space here. Kind of like that, I hope. Alright, not going to run that belt just yet. How about we back off slightly and figure out how hard it's going to be to get water to this thing. So let's see, if we put a pump right about... yeah, I want Mark IIs, thank you. Yeah, if we put a pump right about there... Actually, there's no law that says we can't do it at a bit of an angle. So how about we put the pump right there. And we power that bad boy right off of here. And then we just run the water kinda over this way. And boot it up into there. Yeah, I'm not displeased with that. I mean, I've still got to get it running for the water tank over here, but it's not taking up that much room. It's not blocking anything as far as I can tell. kind of feel like that might be reasonably efficient. Nope, I want to go in that one, thank you. Okay, it's a little bit tight quarters, but I think I like that right directly in front of that. Now, you were going to be making, kind sir, I do believe, you're going to be making these things, yes? I think it was these. No, it was not. Okay, you're going to be making non-fissile uranium. Please tell me you're the thing that makes non-fissile uranium. You are not. Crap, it was the actual blender was the next thing we needed. Okay, blender, please tell me you are the thing that makes non-fissile uranium. You absolutely 100% are. Perfect. Okay, now to do that, we're going to need the nuclear waste, which is fine, and then we need all the silica, which is fine. I'm going to need to make nitric acid, and I'm currently making sulfuric acid, but it's way back here, I think. Actually, you're my sulfuric acid thing, yes? No, you're getting sulfuric acid. This is the one that's actually making it. And is making it probably not quite quick enough to maintain two things with it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to jack this thing up, get that running full tilt. I think that's it, right? And then we can just take it from here and run it across the way, or, I mean, technically run it down under the floor and then bring it up over here. Because I've got pipeline holes for the floor as well. We can get you in there. Okay, so now we need nitric acid, which is why we have nitrogen. Let's see what we have to do that. Alright, what is the thing that makes nitric acid? I have a stinking feeling that is probably going to be another blender. Actually, we've got a blender set up, so we don't need to waste resources building another one. Alright, you. I need you to be making plutonium whatsits, and then nitric acid is just... Okay, so that's just water and nitrogen gas. So I could actually set that up like right next to this, and then bring it in. It's not terribly convenient though, is it? Actually, yeah, it is, because I can run it under the floor and then bring it up over there. Okay, third thing with water in it is going to go here, and it is going to be a blender making nitric acid. So how does this work? Should be able to just go pipeline from there to there? Okay, so it's not the prettiest thing in the universe, but it'll definitely work. Okay, I think I've done this correctly, and if I have, we should be manufacturing nitric acid, yes? Well, here's a thought, dum-dum. Check the right machine. Please tell me I'm making nitric acid. You are not, because you need iron plates. Wait a minute. Nitrogen gas should be coming in, yes? Is there no nitrogen gas coming in through this pipe right here? There is not. I have done something incorrect. Crap. Okay, well, really quick, let's run back down and let's check all of the various pipes and see where it went wrong. Okay, so statistically, what are the odds that I actually just installed the pump backwards? He asks, already knowing the answer to that question. Yeah, let's try that again, only this time, let's have the pump going in the right direction. What do we think? Okay, so it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but I think we can just run this around there. Nope, I want you... Yeah, I was going to say, I want you kind of that way. And I need you to go up through this hole. Pretty sure that's the right hole. I really hope that's the right hole. now making nitric acid, which is perfect. Because we need nitric acid for the what's-its. What am I making with this thing? Oh, non-fissile uranium, I think is what we were doing. Yeah, we need nitric acid, sulfuric acid. And we were going to pull that in from over here. Alright, yes, we can bring the sulfuric acid in over here. Run it down under there. And then bring it up into the thingy. Okay, Digby, if you're going to have a ponder, how about you have a ponder somewhere that isn't radioactive? Okay, you go to there, you go to there. You go to there. We do have nitric acid coming in. Okay, so I've still got to run the sulfuric acid over here. And the silica, which is all the way the heck down there. And then all we got to deal with is the uranium waste, and that's fine because that's coming in from right in front of us. Okay, well, I hate to say it, but I think I sense a montage coming on. Okay, well, I think, because I'm pretty much out of recording time here, I think I might have to stop this episode here. But really quick, we are going to run through this, make sure we did everything more or less correctly, make sure we are still in line to accomplish the goal, and hopefully fire it up a little bit. And according to my calculations, I may actually be at the very weird point of not having enough nuclear waste being generated. But anyway, yeah, what we've got so far is this thing's going to be making, well, nuclear waste. The nuclear waste goes in here, and we've got it all set up to turn into non-fissile uranium, which we are then throwing in here and making plutonium pellets. Now, I do still have to get, I think it's this one here, that's going to be making water as well, right? Yeah, okay, that's making water, but we're just going to run that over to here. I've already set up a like container manufacturing thing, so we're going to basically run that over here and then just sell it on the internet. Now, I do have another one of these things set up because I also forgot that we are going to need to make nuclear pasta at some point, but I haven't got copper powder being manufactured yet, so that's going to be a whole nother thing. And then we're going to need this thing once it makes the plutonium pellets. We're going to need another thing to mix with concrete and turn them into encased plutonium cells. So we're going to need another assembler, and then after that, we're going to have to do one more manufacturer. I'm going to have to bring heat sinks, and I think the what's-its that these things are made out of. I have the ability to set them up down below and then bring that up. So we're going to have to make heat sinks and these things, and ship them up to here. And I am making the control rods, and we've got plenty of steel beams. But yeah, we're going to turn that into plutonium fuel rods. And then we're going to set up one more nuclear reactor right here. And that's going to be making, not making, but it's going It's going to be producing nuclear power, and it's going to be using the plutonium fuel rods as the fuel source. Now, I don't actually know if any of that's going to work. I don't know if none of it's going to work. I don't have any clue if any of this is going to function the way it's meant to function. However, before we go, I do think we ought to at least fire it up, get some of the nuclear crap into the system. I mean, we do have it set, so well, you guys would have seen in the montage. It's all running like way out of the way. We should be able to get within a reasonable distance of all of this stuff without actually melting or turning into the Toxic Avenger or anything. So yeah, if you guys are ready, let's fire up what we've got so far, and let's see how it goes. Yep, we are burning fuel, we are producing power, we now have 17,000 megawatts to play with, which is bloody brilliant. We got plenty of water coming in. That all looks good. Now, how much waste is this thing actually going to make? Okay, it's got 25 in there. Oh, no, it needs 25 to make a pellet, which is absolutely 100% perfect. Now, how about you? How much did you get? This thing ended up with only like 11. Okay, so it does look like we are going to be consuming it at a slightly higher rate than we are making it. Which is not the end of the world, really. Alright, well, I do have a whole lot more manufacturing I'm going to need to do if I want this to be the way I want it to be. But, as far as beginnings go, I feel like this is definitely way more organized, way more efficient, and way more sustainable than it was in the first series. I also do love the fact that we can get really, really close. Ow. Yeah, we can get really, really close to the nuclear power plant without getting irradiated. Now, once I do get all of this set up, I am going to go around and I'm going to paint like a danger zone on the floor telling me exactly where the radiation starts, which is another thing that I really wish I'd done in the first one. Although I don't think it would have made all that much difference because the entire friggin' platform was pretty much radioactive. But yeah, I mean, we definitely have nuclear power online, and we are definitely going to be able to keep up with it, I think. So, all I gotta do is a little bit more off-camera crap, and in the next episode, we should be pretty much up and running and ready to start on the Phase 4 of the space elevator. And on that incredibly ambitious note, as always, I have been Digby. I thank you guys for stopping by. Really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Satisfactory. And yeah, I hope to see you for the next one.
Oh, yeah.